Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm checking you can hear me. I think you can see me. To be honest, if you're out enjoying the sun, I wouldn't blame you. It's such a gorgeous evening. My hair is looking just a little bit on the slinky side. We have bought one of these big paddling pool things that goes outside, and after work, Tom and I decided to christen it. It's been filling up pretty much all day, but we are so happy with it. This is how much I love you guys. If it is still beautiful outside, I am indoors and I'm going to craft with you. Don't get me wrong, I love crafting, but if it's still this nice when I'm finished, I'm heading back outside to the pool. Hey Karen, glad you're here. Right, let's jump straight to it because I do have a lot that I do want to show you. So I am going to flip the camera around. Right, what is this, Emma? Why are you showing this picture of a dice? So, or you might be thinking, is that a dice? Well, it is a dice. It's a cube here. I had my team day at the weekend where lovely ladies from my team came and joined me, and we had so much fun. One of the games that we played, I just realised this grid paper is absolutely manky. Just flip that over. There we go. One of the games we played is one with the dice, where I had a few stamp sets laid out. Hey, Laura. I had some ribbon and I had some embellishments. And the idea, and everybody got a white piece of card. And the idea was that you rolled the dice, and if it landed on green, you had to stamp. If it landed on yellow, you put on an embellishment. If it landed on red, you put on a ribbon. And we passed the dice around the whole table, and you had to roll a dice, and then you had to do what it told you. So this was my creation that I made at the end. So as you can see, there's a lot of ribbon. I had 1, 2, 3 ribbons to put on. I had 2 embellishments, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stamping. One of my friends, when she was doing it, her first 3 rolls were all embellishments. So she was trying to figure out where to put them. Somebody else kept getting nothing but ribbon, so they had lots and lots of ribbon on their cards. So it's a fun game to play. You've got to do what the dice says and try and create a card. But I actually think that's quite cute. It's not something that I would have come up with on my own, but actually it works all right. So that was one of the games that we played at the team party, the team day. Something else which happens at team day is swapping. So these were some of the swaps that I received. This one, isn't this a cute little box? So I'll show you. It opens up and DSP base, chocolates inside. Very, very good. And then this lovely little base. So it's a white card top using the DSP to stick around the edges there. And then the sun punched out. Today is a good day. And that's the boat. So we still have the sailboat punch. The stamp set went retired, sadly, but the punch stayed. And I just think this is really cute, really gorgeous. So I got that lovely box. That was my mum who made that one, Hazel. Then this one, this card is absolutely gorgeous. So this is Garance who made this card. See, even the scissors have been embossed, silver embossed, so that they look like scissors. This again is one of the stamp sets, the new stamps and dies out of the current catalogue. But it's got, look, watch this. It's got this turning thing here that you can twist, and it changes what's inside the frame. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? She put so much work into this. It's absolutely beautiful. I think there's, yeah. So is that 3 or 4 different things? What we've got? Flowers, with love, and you inspire me. So yeah, you've got 4 different options to have the inside the embroidery hoop, that is, and then the card on the inside. So that was a lovely one as well. This one was from Anne Scobie. So this is using the Earthern Elegance suite. And that's their little vanilla notelets as well, which are so handy, so functional. And that one, I love again the way that she's just added the trim, just a little bit of trim to the vase. It's got a really elegant vibe to it. So I was grateful to receive that one. Next up, so this was Debbie Prince, one of my lovely creative friends. So the easel stamp and then the brushes and the frame are part of a stamp and die set. But what she did was she printed out the picture and put it on the easel, which I thought was so clever. Plus she's used, actually I've got the punch here. See this little punch? That's what she used to make the pen pot for the brushes. And then she's got some DSP at the back here, some ribbon. Such a beautiful card. I think she did so well on that one. And then last but certainly not least, this one was from the lovely Julie. And she's used, do you remember the stamp set that we used a couple of weeks ago? The countryside that's got all the different layers inside it. So she's got that layer there, but she's cut out other layers in cardstock and in the designer series paper. And really cleverly, she's used the largest die to create a card blank, a really, really fun shaped card. I think this is such a good idea. And it's so easy to do as well. You get your card of your piece of A4, cut it in half lengthways, fold it, and then when you have your card, you place your die over the top of it, but you make sure that the edge of the die goes off slightly further where the hinge is, and then that way you can cut your own shaped cards using the dies. It's really, really clever. I might do it on one of our future lives, but I thought that card was beautiful. I didn't make swaps as such, but I did teach them how to do the pop-up card. I know I've done this one on the live before, but we did this at the class. I really love this. The colour that I used here was Pretty Peacock along with Berry Burst. The one that I'd done before, I'd used Blueberry Bushel and Berry Burst. Now I can't decide which one I like better, whether it's the peacock or the blueberry. Both are lovely, but yeah, I can't decide which one I like best. They're both very similar though. So those were the cards that we made at the team day. I showed you already the one that we did with the game. The other thing that we did at the team day is something which actually I'm going to be sending out to some of my lovely customers. And don't worry, my team will be getting one of these as well. So this is a colour chart that I've put together. As you know, we got a colour refresh in the new catalogue. And this shows you all of the different colours. So you've got the brights, you've got the neutrals, you've got the regals, the subtles, and then the in colour. So those are the new in colours that have just come in, and then the in colours that we had carrying over from last year. And the whole idea with this is that you can tick off if you've got the cardstock, the ink pad, the marker pen, and the blends, so you can keep track of what you've got and what you still need to build up your collection. So at the team day, I had blank versions of these for everybody. And what we did was I gave them punched out shapes, but I didn't do it in colour families because that would be too easy. So instead we had all the reds. So we had Poppy Parade, Sweet Sorbet, Cherry Cobbler, Real Red, and they had to work out which one went where. And then we did it for all the yellows and all the greens and all the blues. And it's a good way of learning what all the colours are across all the colour families. So I think we had fun doing it. I hope we had fun doing it. But I have, with my lovely Tom, my beloved husband, who is very long suffering, he has sat with this punch and he has punched out, I think we estimated it's about 2,000 shapes that he punched out, and I stuck them all down. So I have got, this is part of the reason why these catalogues haven't gone out yet. You can see here, I've got stacks of catalogues with the colour charts and with some other bits and pieces here, and they are going in the post tonight. I'll take them all to the post office later on this evening. Hey Debbie, glad you're here. So anybody who's still waiting for a catalogue, I'm really sorry, but this is one of the reasons why it's taken so long, because you're getting one of these. All the VIPs will be getting one of these in with your catalogue. The other thing which is going in with your catalogue is this. These are the tabs which go in with your catalogues. And let me show you how this works. So I have my catalogue here, and you can see I've got my coloured tabs along the side. The tabs themselves, so you've got multiples in each of the colours. And if you're thinking, why do I have multiples, Emma? If you have a look very closely, you see that top one there says all occasion. And then you've got toute occasion, verschneidenst Anlass, and allerlegen Heiden. I apologise to any Dutch or German speakers as I've butchered that. But you have, oh hey, we've got two Debbies now. Debbie Prince, glad you're here too. The labels on one sheet, you get every label that you need for the catalogue, but you get them in multiple languages. So when your labels arrive, please pick the ones that are in the language that you prefer. So if you prefer English, make sure you pull the English ones. If you want to do them in French, German or Dutch, feel free. And then when you stick them into your catalogue, if I just show you quickly how this works, because it's really very clever. On the index, she says, hopefully, it's not in the table of contents, but if I look at the top, so this one here, all occasions, and you see it's got a little red piece next to it, that tells you that that's the red tab that says all occasions. So these tabs, they are sticky. You basically pull them off like that and fold them in half, but make sure that you capture the sheet of the catalogue partway through, okay? So you've got all the red ones at the top for all occasions, and then when you get to all of occasions, you go to this sort of gold, the wild wheat shade for love, thanks and support, and then yellow for hobbies and recreation, granny apple greens, your artistic expression, boho blues when we get to accessories and more, host and join, so that's information about joining, is that, I think that's pecan pie, or it might be moody mauve, it's moody mauve, and then the index at the back. But the labels correspond to this colour that's up in the top here. So the VIPs will be getting a copy, a full sheet of labels in with their catalogues as well. So I hope you enjoy them. And again, apologies it's taken so long for coming. Right, now I can get down to some crafting. Oh, one last thing, but we are going to start the crafting on this. I did a sweet share with my team, which is where basically everybody picks some different items and they chop them all up into lots of different bits, and then they send them to me and I divide them all up and send them back. And so it means that everybody gets different parts of a share. It's a good way to get selections of different DSPs and ribbons without having to buy the whole thing. One of my lovely team members, Linda, she made me this beautiful card to go in with her share. It's done using the Zoo Crew papers, and I just thought it was so cute. So I'm going to take inspiration from the lovely Linda, and I'm going to use the Zoo Crew papers tonight on tonight's live. So, what are the Zoo Crew papers, I hear you say? So, here is the pack of them that I've got here. So on one side, you've got these cute little animal pictures, mountains and trees, little lion toasting marshmallows. They're very cute. Some of them are already coloured in. Some of them you can colour in yourself or leave blank. And then on the other side, you've got these lovely little patterns as well. I will be honest, these sort of cutesy, cartoony type shapes, it's not something that I'm a massive fan of. It's not something that I frequently craft with, but I'm going to give it a try. Because I think some of them, I mean these ones, the little spotty ballerina sheep, some of these are quite cute. So I can see me doing different things with those. And of course you've got the patterns on the other side. So I actually love this one with the music notes and everything round about. You can just cut out, well, I can say you can. I'm going to. So we're gonna have a play around with these. And with the pattern sides as well. So not just the picture sides, we're going to use the pattern sides too, because I have a plan. I've planned tonight's Facebook Live. So this one here, you can see these papers. That's what the lovely Linda used to make this card. So literally just cut round that one there, cut round that one there, and then use this paper along the bottom. And again, that's on our notelet sized cards and a wee sentiment at the bottom. So stinking cute. Absolutely, Alison, you are completely right. It was so cute. Love the card. And this one as well, which I think is really cute. So let me show you what I am going to do with them. And I'm going to start off with, let's start off with this one. So I have a plan. I'm going to get my trusty trimmer, and we're going to keep using these at notelet size. So my notelets are 3.5 there by 5 there. She says, hoping that she's got that right. She did, yes. But rather than completely create this card, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So instead of doing it to 3.5, I'm doing this to 3.25. Am I going to do it to 3.25? No, I'm not. I'm going to do it to 3. It's a method of my madness. Do a strip of 3. And then I'm going to take this to 4.5. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to cut another one of these so that I can have multiples. She says, I hope I've got that the right size. Let's just take the back of a notelet. This should fit on with a bit of a border, and it does. Ah, that is perfect. On the piece that was left over, I've just got this little critter here. So what I'm going to do is, now, I was going to die cut him. Actually, I'm just going to fussy cut round about him. And I'm going to leave this little shadow bit at the base because I think it's quite cute. And I'm not fussy cutting precisely round the outline. Can you see I'm just using, I'm leaving a bit of a white border. That is deliberate because I want there to be just a little bit of a mat between him and the background. I say him, could be a her. What do we think? Also, is that a beaver? I'm trying to work out because of the tail. I'm pretty sure it's a beaver. I also think we had this question the last time when we were looking at the papers to try and figure out what all the animals are. Right, here we go. So I've got my wee guy cut out. I'm going to pop that to one side. Then I'm going to get a piece of cardstock. One moment. Right, I thought I disappeared, was never coming back. I was actually looking for my Lucky Limeade, because that was the colour I was going to use. But I can't find it, which makes me think I've put it somewhere. I'm going to trim this at 3.25. A raccoon, thank you Karen and Alison. Right, I have trimmed this 3.25 by 4.75, so that should be the right size to fit on there. And then I've pulled out a packet of notelets. Let me just get these, got my bone folder. Struggling to find stuff somewhat because I tidied up in advance of everybody coming over last weekend, and in tidying up I now can't find anything as a result, but that's the price you pay when you're somebody as messy and disorganized as me. So right, so now having cut, so this one 3 by 4.5 inches, this one 3.25 by 4.75 inches, that layers on top of that, and that layers on top of that. So I have that all perfectly layered on my notelet. But before I stick it down, this was a tip that I saw somebody else do and I thought, that was so clever, I want to do that. I've got my blends out. Now the blends are great for colouring in the pictures, but I'm going to colour in my DSP. So because it's got the black as the background, I don't really need to worry about keeping to the edges. It doesn't matter if I go over. Because it's black, you can't really see the edges. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to take too long doing this. It's meant to be fun and it's meant to be quick and easy. I'm just gonna randomly colour in some of these. That's me done the green. Let's now do petal pink. For some reason, I never think to colour in designer series paper, but we can absolutely do it. Absolutely no reason why we couldn't. There we go. Let's do some in the lemon lolly. I'm using the paler of the two shades, so blends do come in a dark shade and a light shade. And I'm using the paler one because I thought it would look nicer against the balloons. See, I'm not really being too precise about whether I've got them beside other colours or not. Just want to give a overall effect. Do you think I should colour them all in, or shall I leave some of them white? I don't know. I do still have the pumpkin pie to do. I think it'll be pretty. Let's do the pumpkin pie. Let me know your thoughts. Should I colour them all in, or should I leave some of them white? It's quite fun. There's something very relaxing about colouring in. I don't know what you guys think, but just adding little touches of colour. It's very therapeutic. You don't have to be too precise. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing, picking up the colours from the balloon. Glad somebody spotted that. There was a madness to my method to my madness. Let's do some more pink ones. Leave some white. Okie dokie. Just it's knowing when to stop. That's the problem. Let's just do one more there. What do we think? Leave it at that. So then we've got the pool party behind it. That goes on the card. And then the plan is to stick my wee... Oh, now you see, I was going to do it all nicely layered up, but then it kind of slid. And now I'm thinking, jaunty angle? Do you know, I'm not good with layers at jaunty angles. Let's do the layers. Just let's do the layers straight. That's probably the best way. When I start getting too jaunty, I then start to doubt myself. Let's do that. The blends dry really quickly as well, so it's a really good way to do your colouring in. It's the way I pretend to be all artistic. I know there are some really fabulous artists in the group. I am not one. I am in awe of your skills, ladies and gents. I really am, but it's not something I am blessed with. But that's fine, because thankfully I have rubber stamps, which can make me pretend that I'm artistic. There we go. Let's put that on there. Right, so now gonna place this little guy. If I place this little guy here, I could do a sentiment up at the top. Before I stick him down, let's figure out what I'm going to do my sentiment with. So I think this one with the balloons, it kind of seems like a birthday one to me, doesn't it? Shall I pull out let's pull out a birthday stamp and see what we're going to do. here we go. I'm thinking, you know, again, drawing inspiration from the lovely Linda. Let's stamp my sentiment. In fact, actually, that's the one she's used. She's used the thank you from Go To Greetings. I'm going to do a birthday card, a birthday one from this same set. Although as I say that, it will just fit into that oval. Here's a pro tip, okay? It's this oval that I want to stamp it in, okay? So if I stamp on my card and then put that in the punch, it's going to stamp out, it's going to punch out this one, but it'll punch out that one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice my cardstock first to give me a strip. And then I'm going to stamp him. There we go. Now, when I put it in to punch it, I'm only punching from the bottom, not from the top. There we go. Let's get some. Oh, where's the cardstock? Do we think the blue to go behind it or the lemon lime twist again? I think it's got to be the lemon lime twist. Or actually I could do it in the petal pink. Let's get some lemon lime twist and some petal pink, and you girls can help me decide. Right, let's do one of each and then we can decide. Oh, there's a nice little scrap. These are my pockets that I keep with all my little scrap bits, because then waste not, want not. Let's punch out one of these. See, by the way, see if you've got a piece that's too small to fit in your punch. What you need is take a pick and just use your putty tool to line it up. Voila! Punched out. And now that bit can go in the bin. That's really using all the very last of your strips. Yeah, you can see here's where we punched out those shapes. Let's do it in both and decide what looks best. Some dimensionals. There we go. Right. What do we think? So that's it with the lemon lime twist. And that's it with the petal pink. What are your thoughts? You guys give me a vote on that, whether I'm going for pink or lime. And I'm going to stick some foam pads on the back of this dude. Get him organised. A vote for lime. I suspect you might have the popular suggestion there, Debbie. It's a bit brighter, isn't it? The pink is nice, but the lime I think is maybe more vibrant, and it goes with the stamping. Yeah. Let's stick this down. Right, no other votes. Looks like lime it is. I like it when it's nice and easy like that. Stick this wee dude down. Put a little bit of glue the back there. And a couple of dimensionals on the back. There we go. So that's us used our Zoo Crew papers and a sentiment and our blends and just made a really quick and easy notelet sized birthday card. You like it? I think it's quite good. Works out all right. Okay, next one that I'm going to do, because I want to use one of the other papers here. I want to try something a little different this time. It's just, where's my bone folder gone? Let's get my notelet. There we go. And I want to use this one here because I just really like that. I like that little hedgehog with a heart. I think he's really cute. And then the papers on the other side, I wasn't going to use the other side. I was going to use these ones, these flowers. So let me show you what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to do the same. The papers are so cute. They really are. This time, instead of cutting it at 3, I'm going to cut it at 2 inches. So just think, if your card is, if your sheet of paper is 12 by 12 and you're doing this with only 2-inch strip, you can get so much out of, so many cards out of one strip of paper. So I'm going to cut that at 5 inches and that's going to go along the center like that. Then I'm going to get some of my petal pink. This one, so I'm going to cut it at 3.5 by 2.5. I'm just going to stick that behind, so it's not a complete layer. Just going to put it on like that, just to give almost like a frame of colour in the middle. Before I stick that down though, I want to colour in my flowers. Now this one I'm probably, oops, a daisy. Haven't seen that happen before. When you're pulling your blends apart, please be careful not to completely pull the nib off. But if you do, just pop it back on. To be fair, I have had some of these blends for quite some time. Right, still colouring, it's fine. I'm using the thick ended of the nib for this one. That's okay, Debbie, you take care. Go and enjoy the sun. I'm going to colour in the petals. Again, you don't have to be too precise, but I just want to get a pop of colour. I just thought the pink would be really pretty for this. If I look, so the one that I'm cutting out, in fact, let's just cut this out first so that I've got something to go on. Let's just cut round it roughly. Oh, I've got an idea as well. Just going to cut roughly round this. The hedgehog, in fact, a lot of the animals from this, it really reminds me of the film Sing. Have you seen it? It's like where you've got all these animals who are auditioning to be in a talent show to save a theatre. It's quite a fun film. I like it. It's got a really good soundtrack. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep that bit at the bottom or if I'm going to slice that off, but Let's do that for just now. So I want to use these colours. It is really mostly the pink that they've used. So let's just colour this in. Anybody else know the film I'm talking about? It's called Sing. It's quite fun. And there's a hedgehog who plays a guitar, and there's a pig who sings and dances, and she's got lots of kids and she gets distracted, and it's just fun. I'm a big kid at heart, honestly. I love these animated Pixar and Disney type films. I haven't seen the live action remake of The Little Mermaid yet, but I really want to. I'll go and see that at some point. Everybody else just staring at me as if this lady's crazy, talking about kids' films. Act your age. Do you know what? I'm sitting colouring in pretty flowers. This is acting my age. They joke these days, don't they? It's like the adults with colouring in books and the kids with all the technology. Things have changed around. Right. Let's use my Lemon Lolly to do some of the other flowers. At first when I opened it I thought I'm going to use this to do the centres. I might just leave the centres white. I am going to use my lemon lime twist to do the leaves though, because I think that's needed. You just need a pop of green. And again, can leave some of them white. Oh, do you know what would be lovely? Colouring in the background. Although that might take quite a while, so I'm not going to do that on this live. Bring this up to the camera. Can you see? This is really, really cute. I'm loving the way this is coming out. Seems very big-headed to say that about my own creations, but take it in the spirit that it's intended. I'm just really chuffed with the papers and the products rather than my own attempts to colour them in. The green just adds that little bit of colour that's quite cool. What do you think? Should I do some of the flowers blue? Because you do get like blue forget-me-nots and bluebells. I don't think I'm going to do green flowers because I've done all the leaves green. But do you think I should do some of the flowers blue in the pool party? Let me know in the comments what you think. Ali, lovely to see you. Don't worry, I'm the last person who can criticise people for being late. Right, that's it with the, so we've got petal pink, we've got lemon lolly, and we've got the green leaves. Shall I do some of them blue? The pool party. Let's do one in the middle, and then if I don't like it, I can cover it up with something. What do you think? Does the blue work? I think it does. Yes to blue flowers. Thanks, Karen. I really do appreciate when people comment. It's very reassuring. Ooh, I've missed a green leaf. Let's just keep that open, just in case. Anybody else here enjoy colouring in? Do you find it therapeutic? I see people do beautiful things with like Zentangle and colouring. I'm not good at the design part of colouring, but when it's something like this, just colouring in designer series paper, I quite enjoy doing that. My doodles on notebooks tended to be lots of little stars and hearts and little Celtic knot type things. That's what I tended to doodle. Not that I ever doodled. I was always paying great attention to everything that everybody was telling me. You love colouring in as well, Debbie. Good. Filling in the last of these flowers, making sure I've got them all. The ones at the edge as well, just add that extra something. Right, let's pop the lids back on, and I'll bring this up to the camera so you can see them properly. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So it's gone from, so that's it, just the black and white DSP, and that's it coloured in. It didn't take that long. What did it take? 5 minutes or so? Okay, so the plan then is to stick that in the centre, have that strip along the top, and then, now you see I was just going to stick that on the top because that's what we did for the raccoon, but the raccoon had the white background on black. I think that needs something behind it to lift it up a bit. I'm wondering if I could use some of the pool party, stick it on pool party and edge round it. Let's give that a try, see what we think. I'll not stick it down first, I'll just start cutting. But I think it needs some sort of background just to lift it. Do you know what would have been smart? Was just to use like one of the oval dies or one of the shapes or something, because then I could have used the layering shape instead of trying to fussy cut round a fussy cut random piece. That would have been sensible. Oh well. Right. What do we think? I think it needs the background bit to it, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's just have a think. While we're looking at that, let's do our sentiment. So this one here, where's my stamps? Oh, I didn't clean the stamp the last time. Naughty Emma. Let's clean it off. I'm going to do this one as just a note. And let's do the slicey trick again. Waste not, want not, as they say. What colour do we think? Shall we do it in the green and the Lucky Limeade again? I think that would go nice against it. Let's stamp it in the green and get a green outline. And then if you think it doesn't work, we can do something different. Let's try this just to begin with. Let's do just a note. So actually we've still got the pink oval that we didn't use last time. So we could put that on there. Or we could do the Lucky Lime. While you lot are deciding about the sentiment, I'm going to stick down the layers. So you tell me what you think, pink or lime for behind the sentiment. I'll stick down these layers. Votes for lime again. It's the popular one tonight, isn't it? Let's see. Then that's going on over the top like that. Although I've just got a little bit of glue on the bottom of my paper, so just with a rubber, I just took that off. It stops that getting spoiled, which is good. Another votes for lime. There we go. Let's stick that over the top. There we go. Remember this DSP? The Zoo Crew DSP is one of the ones that's got 15% off at the moment. So if it was one that you were interested in getting your hands on, you can get it at a discount. And for those who are interested perhaps in giving the starter kit a test drive, given that we've got a special offer on in June, you're getting £154 worth of stuff, but you only pay $99. You can add the DSP and let those offers stack. And if you were listening to me earlier talking about the games and the fun that we play at our team days, we really do have a good laugh. And if that's something that you would like to be part of, then just reach out and let me know. There we go. There's my dimensionals. So I'll put the dimensionals back. Before I stick this guy down, do you think we need to colour in the hedgehog? I mean, I know we left the raccoon in black and white because he's got a black background, so I don't think it's quite as obvious. But I'm just thinking, would the hedgehog benefit from even just his back being coloured in? I'm thinking, let me get some of my blends and we can think. If we were going to colour in the hedgehog, here's my suggestions. Right, hedgehog needs a pop of pop of colour, yeah. But which do you think? So we've got the early espresso, which is our traditional deep brown. This is pecan pie. This is one of our new brown shades. And then we've got crumb cake as well. So what do we think for colouring in the hedgehog? You say I'm saying that, I've pulled out marker pens. It should be blends I should be pulling out. Let me see what I've got in blends. Ooh. Right, so I've got the crumb cake blends and I've got the pecan pie blends, but did you know we also sell blends in packs that are designed to be skin colour? Now, I'm trying to make sure that I pull out the right ones. We've got these different skin colour shaded 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Where's the 10th one? Must be that one. And you can line them up in the right order, but I haven't done that. So maybe one of these kind of shades might look nice on the hedgehog. That one, maybe a little. That's maybe a little slightly too orangey. There's that one as well. Spines in brown and the heart in petal pink. Now, I think the heart already is coloured in petal pink. Do you see that? The outside of it? So I'm tempted to leave the heart as it is. But yeah, pecan pie, we think, for his spines. So we've got dark and light pecan pie. Let's pop them back. I'm thinking dark. Let's do dark pecan pie. Colour that in, see what it looks like. Let me just do a shade here. Yeah, I think that's going to be nice. When I was younger, I have a younger brother. in case you don't know. And he used to have a, well, stuffed toy. It was a puppet, really, called Hedgie, and it was a hedgehog puppet. And my brother used to carry Hedgie everywhere. I mean, not like to school, but when we, yeah, this is also when he was little, so he had kind of grown out of it by the time he went to school. But when we went on holiday, Hedgie always came with us. But unfortunately, Hedgie always didn't always come back from holiday with us. Hedgie got left all sorts of places, on trains, in hotels, all sorts of places. So Hedgie was very well travelled, because my brother would be heartbroken that he'd left him somewhere. My mum would phone and try and find out where he was. And then Hedgie would get his own journeys on trains to come back to us. I do wonder sometimes if it was actually Hedgie that was returned to us each of those times, or if sometimes we inherited Hedgie's long lost big brother or something like that. You see, this is a problem with colouring. I don't know when to stop. It's a lovely shade actually, and I think it does work. What do we think? Does that look nice? I think that works. I quite like that. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but on the palette, they've got little colours as well. Just the pool party, the lemon lolly, the lime, lemon lime twist, and the petal pink. And then those are the same colours, of course, that we've got in our flowers. So yeah, when I see hedgehogs, I always think of my brother, because that was his thing for so long. Hedgie the hedgehog. Very imaginative name. Let's put this here. And then decided on the lime, didn't we? For the sentiment. There we go. Right. Oh, there was one thing I was going to do though. So when I was cutting out the hedgehog and fussy cutting around this, there was just this little llama head that was popping up out the bottom. Now, on your packs of paper, so this sheet here, you can see we've got like half an easel here, and we've got like a bit of a head and a little bit of a head here, you know, the other half of an easel there. What I want to do, just with that little bit that's on the edge of the paper, I'm just going to cut round that, because I have an idea. What colour would you say llamas are? Would you say they're brown as well? I might actually do it in petal pink. I think a pink llama wouldn't be too shocking. Because, yeah, I'm going to do it in petal pink. It's going to make sense once I've done it. Don't worry. If you're thinking, why is she talking about having a pink llama? Oh goodness, there we go again. I think I really do need to replace this blend. I have used it so much. We're now at a stage where, I mean, at the end of the day, they don't last forever. And I have had a lot of usage out of this one. Colouring this in, using the thin end because it's easier for these little fine bits. There we go. What I'm going to do is just stick that on the inside of the card. Let's just stick it in at the bottom, just have something a little bit fun. When you open up the card, you get this little llama looking at you. You could also stick it on the envelope. You know what they say, never have a naked envelope. Let's just put that one in there. And because you've cut it out from the bottom, you've already got that little flat line because you cut it from the bottom of the sheet. So don't be afraid to use up those little edges, those edge pieces that you've got. Pale to brown. So pink is good, absolutely. William had a dog called Big Dog. Love it. Right, what do we think of our card? So this is using the Zoo Crew papers, using our blends to colour in. So again, just for comparison, that was what the full sheet looked like. And we've just used blends to colour in those little flowers and give it just a pop of colour. And then just cut out one of the shapes, put a backing on it, and a sentiment to finish it off. So these are our two cards from this evening, both of them using the same papers. Remember, the papers have got 15% off at the moment. Adding a sentiment with a punch, just using blends to colour in some of the shapes on the designer series paper to give it a different look. Okay, right. So I think that's us for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will look forward to seeing you next week. And yeah, as always, if you've got any questions, let me know. The catalogues are going out. They are sitting here. They've got all the labels on them, and I'm going to walk to the post box and make sure they all go in the post. So apologies for everyone who's still waiting desperately to get your hands on them, but I hope the goodies that are in with them will make up for the delay. All right, take care everyone. Have a lovely evening. Stay safe and hydrated in this crazy weather, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.